You think your smart home gadgets make life easier, right? Here's the truth. They're listening, watching, and tracking you while you pay for it. Researchers call it the most intrusive tech shift in modern history. Every bulb, thermostat, and voice assistant trades your comfort for their data. I've spent years in this field, and I'm done pretending it's harmless. This is a privacy apocalypse disguised as convenience. Today, I'm ranking 10 devices from worst to best. They're your 10, Amazon Echo, Alexa smart speaker. The Amazon Echo is the golden child of convenience and the poster child for surveillance. Alexa, what time is it? Sounds harmless. But the real question is, what time is she listening? Amazon insists the Echo only activates after you say the wake word. Independent researchers found false activations happen dozens of times per day, triggered by words that sound vaguely like Alexa. That means conversations, TV audio, even your kids arguing in the next room can end up recorded. And those recordings don't just vanish. They're stored, transcribed, and sometimes reviewed by human contractors to improve accuracy. There's a reason Amazon's been sued multiple times for secretly retaining voice logs of minors. I knew someone who bought an Echo Dot for his kitchen. A week later, he got ads on his phone for the exact coffee brand he'd mentioned aloud but never searched. Coincidence? Maybe. Probably. No chance. Verdict. If you buy this, you're inviting a spy into your living room. It'll answer your questions and quietly ask its own. Number 9, Wyze Plug, Budget Smart Plug. Let's talk about the genius on a budget that turns out to be a hacker's best friend. The Wyze Plug sells itself as a $20 miracle. Plug it in, connect Wi-Fi, and control anything by voice. It's marketed as a convenience for everyone. Unfortunately, that everyone includes cyber criminals. Wyze has a history of security failures. In 2019, the company leaked a massive database exposing millions of home IP addresses, device names, and camera details. 3 years later, analysts uncovered unpatched vulnerabilities that allowed remote code execution. In plain English, that means someone outside your home could toggle your devices or use the plug as an entry point into your network. Cheap smart plugs often cut corners in firmware. They ship with hard-coded passwords, no automatic updates, and in some cases, plain text Wi-Fi credentials that can be intercepted by anyone nearby. I had a neighbor who proudly showed off his Wyze-powered Christmas lights. 3 days later, his router logs showed 6 unauthorized connections, 1 traced to Vietnam. Verdict? The price tag looks friendly, but the privacy bill will ruin your day. Skip the bargain plug unless you're okay turning your home network into a public playground. 8. Google Nest Hub, Smart Display. Here's where things get sneaky. The Google Nest Hub looks wholesome. A small screen for recipes, music, weather. But that tiny frame hides a powerhouse of sensors and telemetry. Unlike the Echo, the Hub has a camera and an ultra-wide field microphone array. Google admits it collects environmental noise levels and motion data to enhance user experience. What they don't emphasize is how much context that data provides. When you're home, when you're asleep, even what direction you're facing. It runs machine learning models locally, but constantly syncs with Google Cloud for personalization. In plain English, your daily patterns feed an advertising empire. One early adopter told me he used his Nest Hub as a bedside clock. Weeks later, YouTube recommendations started showing insomnia products. He never searched for them. The Nest Hub is convenience polished to perfection, and that's the problem. The smoother it feels, the more invisible the surveillance becomes. Verdict: think twice before putting this on your nightstand. It's not a smart display, it's a display that makes you the product. Number 7. Ring Video Doorbell, Amazon. Now we reach the illusion of security. The Ring tells you it protects your doorstep. In reality, it can expose your entire neighborhood. Every Ring doorbell connects to Amazon servers, storing video and audio by default. That means conversations outside your house, delivery drivers, neighbors, strangers, are uploaded to the cloud. Ring's law enforcement partnerships allow police to request footage without a warrant in emergency situations. Once shared, that data can circulate indefinitely. In 2023, researchers discovered unencrypted transmission vulnerabilities that allowed attackers to intercept video feeds over Wi-Fi. Amazon patched them, but the point is, they existed. A homeowner in Texas installed a Ring and later realized his device had been accessed twice from an unfamiliar IP address. No breach email, no alert, just logs. This brand built an empire by selling fear and then feeding on it. Verdict: if you truly want safety, use a camera that stores footage locally and encrypts it. Otherwise, you've swapped burglars for big tech. Number 6. Samsung SmartThings Hub ecosystem. Halfway up the list, and things get complicated. The SmartThings Hub sounds like a dream. One app, one ecosystem, total control. Except it's also one massive single point of failure. When you centralize lights, locks, sensors, and cameras under one hub that constantly talks to Samsung Cloud, you create a complete digital map of your home. Who's home? When doors open? When lights go off? All stored on remote servers. A 2024 security audit found exposed API tokens in developer integrations that could let outsiders trigger automations. Samsung promised a fix, but let's be honest, no corporation at this scale can patch human error fast enough. SmartThings is polished but dependent. If Samsung's cloud ever hiccups, half your house could go dumb. Worse, if it gets breached, your private routines become someone else's spreadsheet. I once consulted for a client whose SmartThings hub went offline after a firmware push. Doors stopped responding, thermostat froze, lights blinked at random. His house looked haunted because one server in Seoul had timed out. Verdict: if you're installing many devices, remember, you're also installing many risks. Convenience shouldn't come with a kill switch. That's your bottom half, the 5 devices to fear most. The ones that promise smart, but deliver surveillance, weak protection, or total dependency. Now we step into the upper tier, the less awful zone. These next devices actually try to balance innovation with privacy. They're not innocent, but they're at least teachable. Number 5, Google Nest Audio, 2nd Gen smart speaker. We're now entering the less awful territory. The Google Nest Audio was Google's attempt to rebuild trust after Alexa's privacy disasters. It moved part of its wake word detection onto the device itself and added a physical microphone mute button, finally giving users a sense of control. But that sense fades once you dig into how it actually works. Every voice command still travels through Google's cloud for analysis. Along with your words, the device quietly collects metadata, usage frequency, room temperature, ambient sound levels, and network identifiers. Those background diagnostics reveal more about your life than most people realize. When you're home, when you sleep, how often you speak. Even when the mic is muted, it continues sending operational pings to Google servers every few minutes. A 2024 Stanford study found that disabling voice history prevents recordings from being stored, but not from being analyzed. Google still keeps anonymized command logs for algorithm training. That's not privacy, it's a performance. Verdict: better than Alexa, but still eavesdropping under a polite smile. Use it only in shared spaces, and keep the mic off unless you need it. 4. Ecobee Smart Thermostat Premium. This one looks innocent, a thermostat that learns your habits to save energy. The key phrase is learning your habits. Ecobee tracks occupancy, temperature preferences, and motion patterns through built-in sensors. That data helps efficiency and builds a behavioral fingerprint of your home. To its credit, ecobee is one of the first major devices certified under UL's IoT security rating. Firmware updates are encrypted, data transit uses TLS 1.3, and the app now supports local-only control when connected to Apple HomeKit. It's progress. Still, cloud integration remains the default. Every eco report you view is generated on ecobee's servers. Disable remote analytics, and half the features vanish. A friend of mine bragged about saving $60 on heating last winter, then noticed the app recommending new smart sensors. That's how data turns into upsell. Verdict: acceptably safe if you configure it right. Lock down remote access, turn off usage reports, and you'll get comfort without compromise. UFi Cam 3, Anchor UFi Security. Here's a rare example of a company that actually tries to put privacy first. The UFi Cam 3 stores every second of footage locally on its Homebase 3 hub, protected by built-in encryption. There are no forced subscriptions, no default cloud backups, and no paywalls to access your own recordings. Your data stays where it belongs, in your house, literally on your shelf. Anchor learned the hard way after the 2022 scandal when journalists discovered unencrypted thumbnail previews exposed online. Instead of burying the issue, they rebuilt the system from the ground up. The updated Homebase introduced on-device AI for motion detection, AES 256 encryption, and mandatory two-factor authentication for remote access. Even if someone breaches your Wi-Fi network, they can't reach your files without the physical hub key. Of course, privacy comes with a price. The app can lag, cloud AI is optional but limited, and syncing between devices isn't lightning fast. Still, the trade-off is worth it. UFi gives you control of other brands only. Verdict: a solid choice for anyone tired of surveillance disguised as convenience. You own the camera, you own the footage, and local storage will always beat rented cloud space. Number 2, Hubitat Elevation C8 Pro Home Automation Hub. This one's built for the privacy purist. The Hubitat Elevation C8 Pro keeps everything inside your walls, automations, routines, and event logs all processed locally. There's no dependency on cloud servers, no hidden analytics, quietly feeding corporate dashboards. It supports Zigbee, Z-Wave, and Matter devices, letting you control nearly any smart gadget without data ever leaving your network. Unlike Samsung's SmartThings, Hubitat never phones home. Firmware updates are manual, backups saved to a local USB drive, and nothing is transmitted outside your house unless you explicitly enable remote access. It's transparent by design. Reviewers call it the Linux of smart homes. Powerful, open, and stubbornly independent. Yes, the setup takes work. You'll spend time configuring drivers, dashboards, and rule engines, but once tuned, the hub runs for years without touching a corporate cloud. There's no middleman, no silent updates, no background data mining. If something breaks, you fix it, not a faceless vendor overseas. Verdict: for those who treat privacy like a discipline, this is the sanctuary. It's pricier and less beginner-friendly, but it gives you full ownership of your home network and every automation within it. Number 1, Aqara Hub M3, privacy-focused smart hub. The Aqara Hub M3 is what every smart home product should have been from the start: intelligent, reliable, and not obsessed with spying on you. It supports Matter 1.3, Thread, and Zigbee 3.0, meaning it can connect with almost every major ecosystem while keeping automation fully local. No constant pings to remote servers, no silent data syncing, no corporate snooping. This hub doesn't even need the internet for schedules or scenes to run. Its dual-core processor handles everything internally, and all event logs stay encrypted inside the device. Even firmware updates are verified locally before ever touching Aqara's servers. According to its privacy policy, no personal identifiers are retained once setup is complete, a rare commitment in the smart home industry. The best part? Durability. It's designed to run for a decade, operates silently, and keeps working flawlessly even when your Wi-Fi or internet connection drops. No ads, no pop-ups, no data mining disguised as user insights. Just a hub that respects its owner. Verdict: the only truly smart hub in a sea of noisy imposters. Buy it once, run it locally, and enjoy a home that's automated, not exploited. Don't fall for buzzwords. AI, cloud, connected, voice-enabled. They sound modern, but they usually mean monitored. When you buy tech, you're not just spending money, you're deciding who gets to know you. So read policies, disable telemetry, and pick devices that still function when the Wi-Fi is off. If this video saved you from another expensive mistake, smash that subscribe button. Drop a comment about the device that shocked you most, and stay tuned.